Welcome friends to our channel Speech of Reddit. Imagine trusting your best friend with everything. Your time, your money, even your future. And then watching that same friend slowly tear your life apart. This isn't just a story about money. It's about betrayal, broken trust, and how one bad decision can unravel everything. Well, let's begin. If you had told me 5 years ago that the person I shared everything with, from beer to dreams about the future, would one day destroy my life, I would have laughed. I would have patted you on the shoulder and said, "You don't know Eric very well." The problem is, I didn't know him very well either. My name is Ben Cross. I'm 34. I'm from Austin, Texas. I worked in marketing until recently at a small but stable digital agency. I was married. Steady paycheck, a decent apartment for rent, a leased car, a dog named Cody, and a best friend, Eric. I met Eric in college. We weren't your typical bros, but we were damn close. We lived in the same dorm, then rented an apartment together. We went through a couple of painful breakups, got drunk together at graduation, moved to Austin together. We were like family, sometimes even closer than I am with my real brother, who I'm not very close to. Eric was ambitious. The kind of guy like, I want my own business. I want freedom. I want to earn for myself. He tried everything. Crypto, drop shipping, a smoothie food truck, brand development consulting for indie brands. Most of those stories ended the same way. Fast, loud, and at zero. But every time, he got back up and came up with something new. I always admired that ability not to give up. I was the pragmatist. Worked for a company, took a stable paycheck, saved a little. We were different, and that's what kept us together. A couple of years ago, he came to me with an idea. As usual, eyes glowing, presentation in hand. "Ben, this is going to be huge. A real startup. No BS. An online platform for freelancers with auto-invoicing and task tracking. All on a subscription model. I know how to launch this. I just need seed money. And someone I trust. How much do you need?" 25. I'll put in my 5, you put in 20. It's all mapped out. In 6 months, we'll have a beta version. In 9, monetization. In a year, we double it. I looked at him and thought, again? But he was so convincing. He knew how to sell an idea. And, damn it, he was my friend. Fine. But we'll do it officially. A contract, shares, clear schedule. Of course. You know me, Ben. This isn't our first time. He smirked. And last time you forgot to return 1,000 from the coffee project. Hey, that was different. Everything collapsed because of the pandemic. I still invested. Took some out from my investment account. Told my wife it was an opportunity. She looked at me worriedly, but said, "It's your life. But be careful. It's Eric." And she was right, though I didn't know it yet. The first couple of months went fine. Eric and I met weekly, discussed progress, made spreadsheets, looked at interface mock-ups. He hired a freelancer from Serbia, a UI designer from Brazil, and even printed a hoodie with our logo, which he handed me with flair. "Put it on, partner. We're now CEO and CMO. How's that?" I smiled. It felt like something big, like I was finally not just working for someone, but building something my own. I told my wife things were on track, though after 3 months she asked, "Where are the reports? Where's the money going?" I asked Eric. He sent me an expense sheet. Everything looked reasonable. Hosting, salaries, ads, prototyping. Still, something felt off. Like he was showing me a facade, not the building. By mid-month 4, I started pressing harder. Where's the platform? Where's the first test? Where are the real clients? Eric brushed it off. "Look, Ben, tech isn't hot dog grilling. It's moving. We're working on the back end. Integrated APIs. You don't want to launch a half-baked product, right? Of course not. But hell, I put in 20 grand. Do we at least have a beta? 2 more weeks. Promise. But 2 weeks weren't enough. Nor was a month. Instead, he sent me a screenshot of a chat with the developer. Hey, need another month. Got stuck on Stripe integration and a task bug. Sorry. Man, I started digging. Messaged the Serbian developer directly. He confirmed, yeah, I'm working on it. But he owes me for the past 3 weeks. I'll probably stop if he doesn't pay. I asked Eric, and he said, look, just reallocated the budget. No big deal. I'll handle it. You're reallocating my money. Dude, he got offended. Seriously. Ben, you're acting like a Wall Street investor. We're friends. We're building something. Or, don't you believe in me? There it was. The classic move. You start asking for accountability, and they accuse you of not supporting the vision. My wife said back then, Ben, you need to stop. Freeze the project. Ask for the remaining funds. Better lose part than all. But I didn't want to believe Eric was screwing me. It was Eric. He wouldn't do that. He was just stuck. Just going through a bad patch. I was stupid or naive, or both. The real breaking point came 6 months after launch. I was at work when the bank called. At first, I thought it was spam, but the voice was official, almost dry. Mr. Cross? We'd like to verify a credit card charge made yesterday for $4,260 to a company named Pachomagubis LLC. Is this a confirmed transaction? I almost dropped the phone. Eric had registered Pachomagubis as the legal entity through which we ran everything, but we agreed big expenses would be discussed. I, of course, hadn't authorized it. No, I said, I didn't make that payment. Can you cancel it? We'll need to initiate an investigation. But note, if this is your business partner and he had access, it may be complicated. Heart in my throat. I called Eric immediately. Did you just charge 4 grand to our card? Relax. It's for advertising. PPC campaign through an agency. Top tier. We'll get traffic flowing. You use the money without approval. It was a time-sensitive opportunity. I couldn't wait for you to reply. Ben, calm down. We're partners. We have a joint account. No, it's my account. The money I trusted you with, not an endless wallet. He went quiet, then said, What? You're spying on me now. And that's when I knew he wasn't just confused. He was getting defensive, lying, deflecting. That night I had a long talk with my wife. We sat in the kitchen, Cody dozing by my feet. She spoke calmly but firmly. You need to stop this. Now, pull the documents. Recheck the accounts. Demand a refund. That means court. Or at least lawyers. So what? You're just going to look away. You're not stupid, Ben. He's using you. He was my friend. Was. Those 2 words hit the hardest. The next day, I demanded a full report of all transactions. He stalled for a month, then sent a vague Excel file with no logs, no dates. I knew it was over, and I acted. I found a lawyer, sent a formal demand for repayment, reminded him of the agreement we signed. Yes, it was soft, a friendly template from an online generator, but still a contract. Eric disappeared. Stopped responding. Blocked me on Telegram, then on Instagram, then everywhere. Only days later did he email. Ben, I'm sorry you went this route. I didn't expect this. I was working on the project with all I had. If you'd just been more patient, it would have been different. I hope one day you'll understand. No signature, no apology, no money. The project never launched. When it all collapsed, I thought I'd be fine. Just a financial loss. I told myself, just 20 grand. People have worse. I still had a job, steady paycheck. But it turned out, it wasn't just about the money. Month later, I started getting letters from the credit bureau. Turns out Eric used my name not just for one card. He opened another, tied to my profile in Potomac Ubis, as an expense card. The application had my name. There was another $7,800 spent on operating costs, coffee shops, co-working space rent, a laptop, a conference ticket to San Francisco. I sat with that letter in my hand and felt a wave of helplessness wash over me. I had given him access myself. I had believed him. I had closed my eyes. When I showed, my wife, she didn't yell. She just looked at me and said, "You knew, deep down, you knew he was using you, but you didn't want to believe it?" I was silent because she was right. 2 months later, we filed for divorce. No, not just because of Eric, but it was the catalyst. We'd been drifting apart. I had become irritable, closed off, suspicious. I was constantly on edge. She was exhausted, and I had nothing to offer. Only anxiety in the shadow of the man I used to be. Work went downhill. I started making mistakes, forgetting things, snapping at coworkers. My manager called me in. "Ben, I don't know what's going on with you, but if it doesn't stop, we'll have to let you go." I resigned. Didn't want to be let go. I tried to sue Eric. My lawyer said, "There's a chance, but be prepared for a long, exhausting fight. And there's no guarantee you'll get it all back." I began the process. Spent another $9,000 on legal fees. The judge acknowledged violations and ordered partial reimbursement. But Eric vanished, sold his car, changed his address. He became invisible, and I was left with debt. A ruined reputation, a broken marriage, and a constant feeling that no one and nothing can be trusted. The first months after the divorce, I just drank, not in a bender, but regularly, at home, alone, beer, then wine, then something stronger. I didn't call my parents, didn't talk to friends. I shut down. Only the dog Cody kept me from sinking. He'd come, lie next to me, look up, like he knew. And one night, when I was once again sitting on the floor with a glass of whiskey, he laid his head on my lap, and I suddenly burst into tears, really cried, uncontrolled, for the first time in a long while. Not because I was weak, but because it all finally came out. A year has passed. Sometimes it feels like it was in another life. Sometimes, like it was yesterday, especially when I get another alert from the credit bureau. The court returned a third of the money, the rest gone forever. Eric disappeared. Last I saw him was from a fake Instagram account, sitting somewhere in Costa Rica under a palm tree with a laptop and the caption, "Digital Nomad Life." I didn't like it. I didn't even get angry. I just scrolled past. My life has changed. New job, lower salary, but healthier environment. I smile again in meetings. I've stopped looking at the floor when someone talks about investing in ideas. I don't flinch when I hear startup. My wife, ex-wife, we're not enemies. We text occasionally. We didn't have kids, which probably made the divorce easier. She was right about a lot, and I'm grateful she didn't tear me apart when she could have. Cody, still with me. Getting older, whines at night sometimes, but still lies next to me when I sit down to read. He's a reminder that some things don't betray. I went to a therapist, not right away, but when I realized I couldn't pull myself out. Alone, we talked a lot about trust, about boundaries, about how hard it is to accept that the one who betrayed you wasn't an enemy, but your best friend, that you didn't notice, didn't want to see, that you lied to yourself. She said, sometimes betrayal is a mirror. It doesn't just show the traitor's face. It shows your reflection too. I won't get my money back. Won't get back the years of friendship. Won't regain part of the respect I had for myself. But I got something else back. Myself. Calm. Real. The one who now asks questions, even if it's uncomfortable. Who says no, even if it's scary. Who knows how to be alone? and isn't afraid of the silence. Sometimes. People ask if I've forgiven Eric. No, but I'm not angry either. I just left it in the past, because that's where he belongs. The story has come to an end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and stay tuned for more intriguing stories and tales. Bye-bye for now.